My mother gave my inheritance to my brother, so I made one decision she never expected. When my mother called me into the living room and told me that she had decided to give my entire inheritance to my younger brother, I thought I had misunderstood her. I looked at my father, hoping he would say something, but he simply stared at the floor. My brother Marcus was sitting on the sofa with a satisfied smile, and that was when I realized this conversation had been planned long before I entered the room. "Marcus needs it more than you do," my mother said. I couldn't believe what I was hearing. For years I had worked 2 jobs while helping my parents pay their bills. When my father's business failed, I used my savings to keep the family home from being repossessed. When my mother needed surgery, I paid the hospital bills. I never asked for anything in return. So when my father passed away, I assumed the small property he had promised me would at least remain mine. Instead, my mother had decided that Marcus deserved it because he was the son who stayed close to the family. I didn't argue. I simply asked her one question. "Did Dad leave anything in writing?" She hesitated. That hesitation told me everything. I left the house that evening and contacted the lawyer who had handled my father's affairs. The next morning, I discovered something that changed the entire situation. My father had indeed left a written will. And according to that will, the property wasn't supposed to go directly to either of us. He had created a trust that would remain untouched until both children reached certain financial conditions. Marcus had never met those conditions because he had accumulated massive debts and had been repeatedly borrowing money from my parents. But there was another clause. If either child attempted to sell, transfer, or secretly claim the property before the trust matured, they would lose their rights to it entirely. Suddenly, my mother's decision made sense. Marcus had been pressuring her because he wanted the property immediately. But what I didn't know was how far he was willing to go. 2 weeks later, I received a call from the bank. Someone had attempted to use my identity to access the trust documents. I immediately knew who it was. Marcus. I confronted my mother, and instead of defending him, she finally admitted the truth. Marcus had convinced her that I was planning to take everything and abandon the family. He had even shown her fake messages that made it appear I was discussing selling the property behind their backs. My mother had believed him because she wanted to believe that her son could do no wrong. I asked her where the original trust documents were. She told me Marcus had taken them. That was the moment I stopped trying to save my brother from his own mistakes. I hired a lawyer and reported